computer.
Okay. Got it.
How's that?
Okay. So we were going to go around and just have a brief introduction. I know most of you though. But, well, I can start. I'm Kate Hedstrom. I'm going to talk about a crochet pattern tonight. And yeah.
I'm
Hello,
Buffy.
Barbara Ebbison. I've been a weaver here for many years, off and on, and have been kind of housebound the last 2 years, so haven't been around. Wasn't able to help so much with downloading our guild, but anyway, I'll be heading off to Sweden middle of March and for a couple of months, and I have an old loom over there, my husband's old farmhouse that his family grew up in. There was a loom when we got it, so that's what I have. And then a lady around the area, it's all in the woods and things. She's a very famous weaver in that area. She has about 6 looms that she works. So.
Darla?
I'm Darla. I live in Toke. I've been a guild member for a very long time, but I just haven't been active because I haven't lived in Fairbanks. I've just stayed on the roll, so I know what's going on. I haven't done any weaving in quite a while. I've played around with some dyeing and eco printing and some felting. And just recently I started playing around with some kumihimo. And I don't have either of my large looms with me in tow. They're at my daughter's house in Anchorage, but I have a couple of small looms, inkle loom, rigid heddle, tapestry style, small tapestry style loom. I haven't gotten them out yet.
Buffy?
Hi, I'm Buffy, and I don't know, I spin, I weave, I knit, I try it all. I'm a lifelong learner, I guess, and enjoy it all. Anyway, it's fun seeing all your faces.
Yep.
Deb?
Hi, I'm Deb. I do a number of different fiber arts. I'm wondering if you're still doing the Wednesdays. I haven't walked away with the loom and forgotten you. It's just that I've ended up having meetings on Wednesday nights, and so it's been hard. But are you meeting now?
That was a January endeavor, and we are out of the Davis Hall right now, but stay tuned to the website, and that will definitely be announced if we resume that. So thanks. Claire?
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Claire. I weave, I sew, I'm learning to spin, I knit. I'm pretty involved with the fiber group here, Fairbanks Fiber, and I enjoy that. And I'm here to help out as any way I can to keep everything going.
Pat?
Well, I'm one of the old members and I don't do much weaving anymore. I keep feeling I need to get inspired, but I just can't seem to get going. But I do knit, and and of course I've got family and house to keep up, and it just seems there are too many things that tug me away and I can't seem to concentrate. But anyway, that's it.
Okay. And Devta, can you hear us? Okay, she might be having trouble with audio, but I'm.
No, I'm
okay.
here. Sorry. Okay. I don't know. Oh, there's video. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I've been in the guild for a long time, and I weave and spin and sew. I knit, but I don't knit. I knit, but I'm not a knitter. and I die, and I have a million projects because mainly I'm a designer, so I get way ahead of myself.
Maureen?
And my studio just got painted,
Oh,
so I'm re-putting together my studio and reorganizing everything, and that feels really good.
Mhm.
And I'm Maureen, and I spin and I knit, and that's a lot of it.
and I'm Mina, and I would really like to learn how to crochet. So Kate, take it away.
Oh, I see. Video. Okay. Some years ago, I got this book, so should we spotlight the book here? Yeah. Anyway, there's a pattern in here, more than one, that I just caught my eye, and this is the one that really caught my eye. This is crocheted vest. And I like to buy Noro yarns, and I don't know if you know Noro yarns. They come in skeins that look like this, where there's what happened? What happened?
It looks like the camera is just on you.
There we go. So anyway, Noro yarn. Do you see it now?
Are you able to pin that, Maureen?
I'm pinning it for me, but it's probably not going to pin it for you.
Oh, okay, hang on. I don't know what I'm supposed to see.
There's my camera on my phone here where my hand is moving.
Yeah, we don't see that. We just see you. You're in the center of the camera.
Right.
Well, if you go back to gallery view, then you should be able to see a
Yeah.
window, and then you can click on pinning that one.
Is that the one you want pinned?
Yeah. Or I can talk about the one I'm wearing too, if you're seeing that instead.
So if I do this, am I going to have to go back and forth pinning and unpinning windows?
Actually, if you go to the top right hand of your screen, you'll have an icon that says view. If it's not there, hover in that corner and it'll show up. And
It's
then
there.
select speaker view.
I did. But
And then
the problem is the speaker, this window that you're looking at doesn't have a speaker.
So you can pin it yourself, each of us. You just have to press on Kate's, on the one with
But
her
I'm
Nora
doing the
yarn.
recording. I think it's recording what's on my screen.
Probably, yeah. So
Oh, I see. So, but can you pin it yourself, Maureen? Just press on,
I
not on
did.
Kate.
Okay.
Did you tap on it?
I pinned what you see on the screen now. I think.
you don't have a way to highlight that one?
What's immersive mean? Oh, I don't think I wanted to do that.
Mm.
Hmm.
I think each individual person can click pin on their screen and see the crocheting. I see it now because I didn't realize that she had 2 windows open.
Yeah. Yeah, the pros know how to control all that, but you know, I'm not that expert.
And maybe in the recording, it'll just record and whoever's listening to it can pin something. I honestly don't know. I don't have that much experience.
No, the recording is going to be just one view. So maybe what your view is with you pinning that works. I don't know.
Okay.
That's okay. I think we don't worry about so much about the recording right now. Let's just go ahead, because I think in the gallery view, most of us can see Kate's yarn, right? And Kate.
Mhm.
And does everyone here know how to pin it for themselves?
No,
So if you, and I have an iPad, so it might be a little different, but if you tap on the picture of Kate's yarn, try tapping on that.
I'm not really seeing her yarn.
I'm not seeing her yarn either.
Oh, okay, go up to the top and it'll give you a choice of, it'll give you that little 9 patch. And that means gallery view.
Yeah,
Press on gallery view so you can see all of our faces.
yeah,
Okay, and then now do you see Kate's yarn?
no.
Oh, how many faces can you see?
I can see everyone. Oh, yeah, I do see Kate's yarn. Sorry, it's down
Okay.
below.
Oh,
Yeah,
Down
tap
below,
now,
I see it.
Okay.
Yeah, I see it.
I
Tap
see
it and it'll give you a choice of pin or chat or something, and then press pin.
In video, okay. All right. Oh, nice.
Anybody else? Or
Good job.
So this is what one looks like
Okay, got it.
crocheted. And the reason I like these is that when you buy these Noro yarns, they have all these colors and they're really interesting. And they sort of go together. But if you just knit or crochet, just, you know, off the thing, it'll make stripes. And that's a different look. And I don't always want stripes. And this crochet pattern, it breaks up colors. And so it's a lot more random.
Mhm.
And yeah, I assume you've all got the pattern.
Yes.
Yes.
So the way the pattern is made is you make these flowers first. And I just keep making flowers until I've got all the different colors in the skein represented in my flowers. And there's instructions on how to do that, and I can show you how to do that. But I started one with a fatter yarn. So this one here is this one is a sock yarn. So all these flowers are made out of this sock yarn. Put them all back in their bag before they get away. They like to get away. And yeah, there's some more. This is a different yarn. It's a bulky weight yarn. It's again a Noro yarn. It's a discontinued yarn, so you can't buy it anymore, but it should do for the purpose today. So I thought I would make some of the flowers and just show you how that goes. It's a pretty simple thing where, let's see, no, there. So I'm making a slip knot to start. Let's get these guys out of the way. Let's see if I move this. So the way I like to hold crochet yarn is 2 loops around my pinky finger, this side of the ring finger and the other side of my next 2 fingers. And then I'm going to chain 4 And I'm gonna do some sort, it's like a slip stitch. I'm just gonna pull a yarn through both loops there. So what I did is I had that chain of 4. And to make this into a ring, I'm gonna poke the crochet hook into the first chain. And then I'm gonna grab a yarn and pull through both. Then I'm gonna make the petal. So there's a ring and then 8 petals around. So each petal is chain 6. And then I go back to the middle and I pull on it to get it to open up. And I put the crochet hook in the middle. And this is called a single crochet, where I pull a loop through once and then I pull a loop through both loops. So that made that into a petal. And I do it again because I'm going to need 8 petals. And go back into the middle and do it again. And so okay. What I've got is the tail I'm holding next to the ring. See this tail? This tail here. And I'm holding it next to the ring. So when I do my single crochet, I'm holding it, I'm gonna hide it under there so that it's with the ring on the inside of the single crochets.
So you're catching it? You're catching the tail in the single crochet.
That's right, yeah.
Okay.
So that's one less end to weave in at the end.
Oh, okay.
And I have to keep kind of udging these around to get them close to each other, to get them to all fit. So that's 6. So the hardest part about this phase is counting up to 6. And then I have to count to 8. So far I have 5 petals to keep going.
Did you say that was a singles yarn?
I didn't say, but it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and some of their yarns have a bit of energy, and so they want to keep making little kinks. So you can let it unkink after each flower. That's 8. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now we just break the yarn and pull the end through. And the next step is to sew in that other end. Just gonna weave it in parallel to the other end so that it's inside all those single crochets. And I go once around back to the other end. And then I cut both ends off. So that's that one. And then the other one's on the back side. And I have a flower. So step 2 in making this thing is connecting all the flowers. And I'm going to grab the other end here. So I'm just going to make a trivet that's like 3 by 3, but I can't finish because I've only got 7 so far. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around and do the connecting bit. And it's all described in the handout. So I'm going to start, well, maybe here and go around. Let's see, no, I'm going to start here and go around this way. And then go up here, I think. So I'm going to just do a single crochet into this loop so that like that. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5 chains on each of these. Okay, come on. It's being ornery, pulling from the middle of the ball. There we go.
So Kate, you're going into each flower loop?
Yeah, each loop in turn,
Okay.
but not all the way around 8.
And you don't have to block your flowers before you do this?
No, no, they'll stretch out later.
Okay.
So I think. Yeah, go to there.
Your hands are going off the screen.
Uh-oh. Yeah. So I've gone and visited 6 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I'm going to go over to this next flower. So I'm going to make the joining strand from here to there.
So still 5, chain 5?
So 5. That's only 4 and 5. And now I'm going to connect to this guy. And I'm going to connect to 4 of these petals, again, 5 apart. That's 3, and this is number 4. And now I'm gonna go to the next flower over here. And if I was making this wider, I'd go to the next flower across, but instead I'm going to go up next. So I'm gonna go this way next. So I need to do 2 more petals to get to there. And then it'll be ready to go to there. So now it's his turn. Let's see.
Looks like Deb's getting some crochet done.
But I'm not sure about putting them together. So I may have a question then. I'm gonna try.
All right. Got a snarl going on here, and the other end is kind of unwound. All right. So what I've got now is three across and 1 up. And then I'm going to go to the next one up. And I want to go all the way around this one and connect to all 8 petals. This yarn behaves rather different from the usual sock yarn. Okay, come to an interesting part of this. So can you see the L shape I've got going here? So I'm working around and I'm going to come back and connect on this side of this guy. But I'm also going to connect to this bridge here. So I'm going to chain 2, single crochet around that, chain 2, and then single crochet around that. 1, 2, and now grab this guy. And then 2 more chain. And so that's close to the same length as the chain 5 that I did
Oh,
going the other way. And I'm ready to do that again. So chain 2.
Hey, can you stretch it out and let us look at what you just did to see where how you connected those two? Okay, cool. Okay, thank you.
So chain 2, connect to this guy, make sure he's not twisted around. Chain 2. And then he connects to this corner flower. Do 5 chains. Go to that. And then I bridge over to his next neighbor. So chain 2, connect. Chain 2, and connect. And 1, 2. Now, if we look at where we're at, it's time to go here next. And for, well, this is Noro being Noro. So I started off with the pink doing this edging. But I guess it's going to get covered up when I do the border. So whatever. Here I connect to 2 flowers. And now can you see where it needs to go next? I need to bridge across to this guy. So it's again chain 2, grab that. And chain 2. Go back. So this is what it's building up to be. And this guy's over here. Make sense?
It does. Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
And I'm gonna go and connect the next guy. Oh, 2 loops.
So on your vest, it looks like the in-between parts are smaller. Is that just because your flowers are smaller? You had a lighter gauge yarn that you're working with for the one you're wearing?
Oh, yeah. So if you can compare the flowers, this is the flowers like.
Oh, yeah.
So all my vests are done with the same sock yarn, the Korean's Silk Garden sock.
Oh, okay.
Does it make sense to bring up the PowerPoint next, or the PDF file next? I don't have a PowerPoint, but I have,
Of the pattern?
yeah, the pattern PDF.
Yeah, we can look at that.
I can share screen if I get permission to share screen, but you'll have to change the focus again. Maureen, do you want to allow me to share?
Yeah, I gotta find it.
Or before we do that, before we switch off, let me show you how to make the center flowers. So where's that end? Here's the end, the other end. So this makes a hole, right? We've got a big hole here. And we're going to fill that in with a center flower. And this one again, use chain 4 and make it into a loop by pulling this strand through. And now instead of chaining 6, we're going to just chain 3 for each petal. So I'm going to make 1 petal. And I'm going to chain 1. And I'm going to use this to fill in the hole. So I need to connect to all 4 sides. So I'm going to go through here. Do a single crochet around that. And then chain 1 back to the center. Chain 3. back to the center. Chain 1 to the next guy here. Chain 1 back to the center. Chain 3. Into the center. Chain 1. Over to here. Chain 1 back to the center. Chain 3 into the center. Chain 1, and there should be one last place to connect here. Over there. Come on, guys. Chain 1 back to the center. And break your yarn, pull through. So that's the orientation we had. So that thing is filling in the hole here. And you need to do that here and here and here as well. Ultimately, to have a, so it'll be 3 by 3 on the outer edge. And then there's going to be 4 of the center guys, the littler guys. And then you can, this is when you'd block it out. Well, or maybe you, step 4 is to go around the edges. So I can show a little about what that looks like too. If I can untangle my yarn here.
On the one that you're wearing, Kate, it looks, well, from this angle and this distance, it looks like you have little squares in there, but those are actually the little flowers. Oh yeah, now I see. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. And so what it is this is just a single crochet all around the edge. And you want to pack it in reasonably tight to give it some stability. And so that's what I would do around the edge of this thing if I was going to save it as a trivet. So did you want to see that at all, or you take my word for it? But once you've got it kind of like this, it gets a little more stable. And you can see that this helps stretch out these loops a bit. And so you don't need to block them before they're connected. They get stretched just by the nature of the connecting. And then you can measure these guys, get a sense of, you know, if this is my swatch to make a big one as a vest, then I would know that each flower is going to be, you know, maybe 4.5 inches across in the finished garment. So then I wouldn't have to figure out how many around I want, you know, to make it around me. And like if you were to make one from hand spun, you would be starting fresh on the gauge. You would just make it depending on however thick your yarn was. And in terms of guidance for making a hand spun one, I know, was it Bonnie kept saying, yes, we're going to have tips on making a hand spun one. And it's not something I've done yet. But so the charm in this pattern is the randomness in all the colors. So you'd want to have lots of colors of your hand spun. it wouldn't have to be variegated. You could make each flower from a different ball of yarn. And then use a different, you could use a solid color just for the connector. That wouldn't be a problem, I don't think. Because it's the flowers that are standing out and looking all interesting. And what Mina was talking about with value, thinking about value, you might want to do that because you might want some lights and darks and contrast and so on. Like the ones I have. So the first one I ever made was this one. And so it's got these dark colors. Maybe I can come up a bit. And some lighter colors, not bright white, but it's a kind of a lightish gray. And there's browns and greens. It's sort of muted, This one isn't very bright. None of the colors are all that bright, except the blue kind of stands out. This turquoise color. And then the second one I made is this guy. Sort of shades of purple and blue, but some more toned down things to sort of keep it from being too bright in any one spot or as an overall item. And it helps the blues pop because they're more clear and then they're up against these sort of blacks and the grays. And
You get an interesting pattern where the turquoise follows up. It gives its own shape there, which is very interesting. But then you kind of lost it down where your hand is because oh no, there's a pink look there. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. You see how that pattern stands out? You almost lose the flower from a distance.
yeah, this one's
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
highlighting this part instead of the flowers.
Yeah.
So I really like doing this out of Noro yarn, just the way Noro yarns are.
You're always a busy lady. Those hands are working all the time.
Yeah. And so as I said in my pattern, the book has a typo, I think, where it has 2 marks for going around the edge on the armhole. And so I've got 2 rows of single crochet on the armhole. And I think what they meant is 1 on each, but what the pattern shows is 1 on one and no marks on the other one. So this is the chart in the book. Let's see if I can zoom in a little more. So here you can see the 2 rows of X's. So that row of X's, like around here, there's a little row of X's, and that means to do the single crochet around the neck opening. And there's none here and there's 2 here. So I think that's just a mistake. And then there's 1 across the bottom too.
With hand spun, that would be really, I could see doing a bunch of natural dyes for the flowers and connecting them with a gray, like a warm gray or something, or a green. That would be pretty.
Yeah, it would. So are there any questions? Can I show you?
Can you put the book back up there? Because I don't think I got it in the beginning.
Okay.
And turn it 90 degrees to the other way. Perfect.
So this is called World of Nature, and what you can't probably see is that it's volume 26. Because there's more than one of these World of Nature books. And this particular one is out of print and people keep asking for it. And it's just plain out of print unless I think maybe in Japan it's back in print.
Is the pattern book in Japanese or is it in?
No, it's in English.
No.
This is the one they sold in the US. And this is the skirt pattern that people like and keep asking for.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
And I'm knitting that too, slowly.
Oh, I did have a question about the repeat length of the color in maybe the sock yarn or the bulky yarn.
Uh-huh.
If you were going to spin it, I know for the flowers, you can just use, do you know how much each flower takes? How many yards or fractions of a yard?
Oh, no, I don't know. For the sock weight, it's over a yard though, because I'm always, unwinding that much every, I pull out a length to unwind
Uh-huh.
because it's kind of energized a bit. But yeah, I get several flowers from each color, like all of the pink ones here from one repeat of the pink. We can pull out all the pink and see that that's,
And how many flowers are you making per vest?
depends on the size of the person you're making it for. So
Well, you.
the one I'm wearing is 170 flowers plus 10 of the half flowers.
Oh, wow.
So the half flowers come in along the edge of the armhole here. So this is a half flower.
Mm-hmm.
And it gives it a smoother edge so that this is the armhole side of it. And then the neck hole side of it is kind of lumpy bumpy because it's got these flowers kind of intruding in. But they tend to curl like that sometimes as you wear it,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the arm, in the underarm. They curl a bit. So I think the next one I'm going to have half flowers in the underarm. But yeah, there's a half flower there.
This looks like a fun project to like, if you're watching a movie or something like that, you could sit and make the flowers one after the other, one after the other, and I bet in no time you'd have them made.
I know. So yeah, you asked how many. So 170 for me. And then this is for my mother-in-law, this one here. And she wants it a little longer than mine and a little wider than mine. And so it's going to be well over 200 by the time I'm done.
Wow.
That would be cute as a kind of a tunic length or a dress length, and then put some sheath underneath, like just a simple black dress with leggings. That'd be cute.
Yeah. Yeah, you could
I
have.
think it would be pretty in the summertime with like a fun colored t-shirt, just a solid color t-shirt, and have it over that, with the skirt. I guess fall would be better, but
It does stretch a bit, so it's to take that into account.
Yeah, I'll have to go and see what my yarn stash looks like, or see what I have to spin. This is intriguing. I do like the portability of it too. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments?
Well, I'm on my flower number 3. It might take a while though.
Well, they'll get faster.
I like the thinner yarn, but it would take so many more flowers, huh?
But it'll work for any gauge. I mean, this is a bulky and then this is a sock weight. So you can make different, whatever works for you. And then you figure out your own gauge and figure out how many around. So should we?
Yeah.
Stop highlighting. I'll remove pin on mine at least.
Thanks, Kate. This is motivating.
Good.
Yes, thank you very much for sharing, Kate.
We didn't get a lot of the crochet people though.
No.
No, I'm not a crocheter, but I'm a knitter.
No, we invited the crochet guild, the knit and crochet guild.
Ah,
The interior knit and crochet community. So they haven't met much, I understand, during the pandemic. But they certainly have expressed an interest in getting together, you know, with our guild members, and hopefully, Buffy, we get back into Davis Hall in April. Is that correct?
Right.
Yeah, and so I'm hoping, or we are hoping, that maybe we could even have like a fiber circle or something in the spring. And maybe our two groups can meet together. That would be nice.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. But so we're doing a spinning class. Our second class is on this coming Saturday, and that's the second of 2 classes. And so we have 6 new spinners, and I think they're, well, 5 new spinners, and Claire is picking spinning back up, I think, right, Claire? So that's been fun, and we are using Sophie's Station. They were nice enough to donate the space, so we're doing that. And then on February 27th, we're going to have an interesting talk with Gail Pretty. She's a local artist. She does screen printing and painting, and I know her through the education outreach that the Museum of the North does. So she has agreed to talk to our guild, and especially the Alaska Tapestry Weavers group, about maybe why would you want to do a tapestry and in lieu of painting or something. She's going to talk about the qualities of tapestry that make that so intriguing. So there are tickets at Eventbrite. If you search Eventbrite for Fairbanks events, you will see it there. And they're just to offer Gail a little token of appreciation to come and talk to us. So please go to Eventbrite and check that out. We'll be also sending out some information about that tomorrow or the beginning of next week. But I don't have anything else to add. Do you, Buffy, or Maureen, or Claire, or Pat, as part of the board, the guild board?
Nope, I think you covered, covered everything, and thank you very much, Kate. I will say I went to check the calendar today, something for Laurel at the Davis Hall, and they still haven't put a partition around our stuff. It's just still like, it's exact, so.
Oh.
Pretty soon, they're gonna have to get on that, but anyway, I was kind of surprised.